Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I want to talk about what's going on in Baltimore right now. I've been observing the curiosities with that city since this Freddie Gray story began. And it's had me thinking a lot, and I've unraveled quite a bit, which I would like to share. Right now, today is Monday, April 27th, 2015. Right now on TV, I have live TV streaming behind me. The protests are really picking up in Baltimore. Right now on CNN, they're showing a police officer down on the ground injured. He just got hit with a big stone, supposedly. But just about 5 minutes ago, they had the story on CNN and all throughout our mainstream media about how Bloods and Crips in the area are teaming up to take out police. They have plans to kill police. What's curious about this phrase takeout that the mainstream media is hyphenating all over the place, including CNN, which I'm looking at right now, it has the gematria of 93, pertaining to the occult religion Thelema, pertaining to Saturn worship. So often in death, the number 93 is coded. And for proof of that, please take time to go through my video blog and look at all the deaths I've covered where this 93 is coded. Sometimes it's just blatant, like the death of Michael C. Duncan, the guy from the Green Mile. He died September 3rd unexpectedly, 9-3. Anyhow, this number 93 is associated with death, and so is the number 74, which directly pertains to the Baltimore police. In this regard, the way the media is presenting the story, it sounds like the Baltimore police are in danger of being killed. Gang members are plotting to take them out. Now check this out. Baltimore police with Pythagorean gematria sums to 74. I call this the number of the martyr. Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. Jesus was crucified at the age of 33. You find this tribute in our nation's geography. Oregon, the 33rd state, is the only state with a gematria of 74. You find this coding on the periodic table. The 33rd element, arsenic, which equals 33 in Pythagorean gematria, has an atomic weight of 74. You find this on the hurricane scale. The qualifying wind speed for a hurricane is 33 meters per second or 74 miles per hour. You find it all over, Truth Seeker. Why? Because the Masons are the architects of the knowledge of our world, and part of that knowledge is an understanding of all these hoaxes we've been presented over the years, over and over. And for further proof of the hoax, look at the names in the police officers. Edward Nero, Garrett Miller, of course, a 33 name. Caesar Goodson. Think about Caesar and Nero. Julius Caesar was once assassinated on the 74th day of the year, March 15th, in the year 44 BC. 44 is another kill number. And with regards to 44, the protest over the Freddie Gray killing began, it was organized for April 25th, 2015, this past Saturday, and the biggest scuffle was at Camden Yards, the baseball stadium. Check out the numerology here, True Seeker. The date numerology is 44. There's another method where you can also add the 20 from the beginning of 2015. In that case, we would get the word number 64. The word Thelema has a gematria of 64. Remember, 93 is the number of Thelema. So the coding is abound. And then with regards to Freddie Gray himself, if you haven't seen my other posts, Freddie sums to 42, Gray sums to 24. This is a number coded all over the killings and the injuring of black youth. In 2006, on 11/25/06, 11 plus 25 is 36, plus 6 more is 42. On that date, Sean Bell was shot 42 times. Michael Brown was shot this year, August 9th. Ferguson and Missouri have the gematria of 42. The initials M and B break down to 42. Once upon a time, Mark Furman said the N-word 42 times in the O.J. Simpson trial. A black man in the Carolinas was tasered for 42 seconds just about a year ago. This number 42 has been put on black men all throughout history. Think about Jackie Robinson, who wore the number 42. LeBron James is currently on a 2-year, $42 million contract. His name equals 42. Just like the name Muhammad Ali. 42 the small way, 96 the big way, like the word Freemason. Last year, the Baltimore Orioles won 96 games. So did the Washington Nationals. The two D.C. teams won 96. The last president to get assassinated got assassinated 11/22/63. Add those three numbers together. 11 plus 22 is 33. Plus 63 is 96. JFK's assassination date. Freemason. Coding. So what I want to point out here, Truth Seeker, is the coordinates of Baltimore it's on the 39th parallel north and the 76th meridian west. Two important numbers in this study. Look at police with Pythagorean gematria, which sums to 33. It begins with 7-6, then 3-9. Do you see it? The coordinates are just like the police. The numbers really line up for Baltimore police for a big incident, is what I'm saying, Truth Seeker. And the narrative is now building. Today's headlines are Bloods and Crips are coming together. Look at that, a story of unity to kill cops. And maybe that's the greater psychological impact. The unity to kill cops. It does seem like the media is pushing for more and more cop hatred. Remember, the word police is 33 in Pythagorean. Officer, is 44. And think about it, two ways. Officers kill and they're targets to be killed, as this story is presenting the narrative of. And just for more of this coding, Truth Seeker, this name you see up here, this is the way the media reported it. This was the guy who put out the details and the talk about all these cops who were arrested for the nickel ride that Freddie Gray got beat up in. Captain Eric Kowalczyk, 76. Like the Meridian Baltimore's on. Covered those numbers, Truth Seeker. Check this out. Police, we failed to get Freddie Gray timely medical care. Police Commissioner Anthony Batts. The name Anthony Batts sums to 42. Another 42 coding on this story. And in this case, the word police commissioner, I almost wonder if they used it because police commissioner in Baltimore have similar gematria. I'm telling you, these people who do this, they love the numbers. Their stories are riddled with numbers. Sometimes it could be a coincidence, but not as much as it happens. The lawyer for the police is another Michael. So often the names in these stories are Michael and Robert because they're 33 names. Michael Davey. Davey has the 39 gematria, like the coordinates for Baltimore. Number 54 is heating up. Connected to Thelema as well. And best of all is the mayor of Baltimore. I've seen a lot of her on TV before. Never noticed her before the trial, but I'm glad I noticed her because here's more coding of what I've been seeing. She's born March 17th, the 76th day of the year. She's the 49th mayor of Baltimore. Look at her name gematria, Truth Seeker. 96, like the word Freemason. Like the number of games the Orioles won last year, and the Nationals, as I already said. See how it all lines up, Truth Seeker? This was from her own webpage, April 13th. This is the day after the Freddie Gray arrest. Sign die. Sign die. Curious gematria here, Truth Seeker. Curious gematria. You see, these Masons, they speak in code and they hyphenate their code, thinking we mainstreamers don't have a clue. Well, it took me about a decade, but I finally clued into this whole word and numbers thing. And now much has been revealed. And that's why I share it with you guys, because for those of you who are frustrated with trying to get through to the masses and the mainstreamers that you deal with in your life, this is one more piece of evidence in your arsenal. I mean, if you can present this, it becomes an undeniable argument. Truth Seeker, another thing I want to point out here is RT News is a total propaganda news network, if you didn't realize that. If you get hyped up on the RT News headlines, that's all they're for. Look at how long this video is, 44 seconds. Let's just see what they got for us. There it was, just some footage of some violence. And True Seeker, this story really is getting people fired up. I mean, if you listen to talk radio, especially designed for black audiences, people are fired up. They're not seeing that the stories are fake that they're baiting us with. But I mean, I understand it from a black American's point of view. They do deal with police discrimination often in their lives. I mean, every black person I know has been to jail plenty of times, at least once. Most white people I know haven't been to jail. And, you know, think about it. Who originally harassed black people in this country? Well, the founders. Then we had the KKK, the 11, the 11, the 11. What's that add up to? 33? Look at Bank of America symbol. 3 11s making up the U.S. flag, which has a 33 establishment date. And then, of course, the word police equals 33. This morning, listening to, I think her name's Maggie Nielsen or something like that, listening to her show, somebody called in and pointed out that it seemed like the police were just where the KKK hid these days. And I suspect all throughout history, the KKK were essentially the police. They're the only types of people who'd want to carry out these types of things. So, True Seeker, Baltimore, we'll see what comes, but it seems like the real setup, and remember how close it is to home for Washington, D.C. and the 44th president. Baltimore's just right outside Washington, D.C. All right, that's pretty much the message, True Seeker. Until next time. Encore. And just as a reminder, what's happening right now in our world is only the process of what's been going on since before this nation was even created. So many of us wonder when everything went wrong. It went wrong before this country existed. Think about the people who used to be where we stand. Natives, in touch with the land, in touch with each other, had community. If you read about real democracy, it said that the best democracy in the history of the world was here, on this nation, before Europeans arrived. But check it out, True Seeker. Think about our nation's birthday. 7-4, the number of the martyr, as we talked about. Baltimore police equals 74. And it happened in the year 1776. In numerology, this is acceptable for a year. You take it into two parts and you add it. So 17 plus 76 becomes 93. So our date of establishment has to do with 93 and 74. Numbers coded very much on this event happening in Baltimore. Think about the beginning of the nation. It became powerful on the backs of blacks and slaves. And here, those same racial lines and that same history is intertwined. These numbers are about monuments, ongoing themes. Look at where they built the new World Trade Center building. One World Trade Center on top of the old one. The last building had its first act of terrorism in the year 93. Remember, New York's in a state where everything's coded 3993, everything about the state. The first plane that hit the building on 9/11 hit floor 93 through 99. Now they named it One World Trade Center, which has a Pythagorean gematria of 93. And they made it 1,776 feet tall, like the year of establishment. Sums to 93. They called it Freedom Tower as an alternate name, which has the Pythagorean gematria of 66, just like freedom in simple English gematria. The name Thomas Jefferson sums to 66 as well, True Seeker. The ground was first, what do they do? You know, when they bless the ground, that's not the word for it, but they did that, I lost it. But they did it in the year 66 before they began construction in 68. These numbers, True Seeker, over and over and over. Today, what's happening in Baltimore is just the latest page in the ongoing epic. I wish this word would get out faster. This knowledge is so important, at least in my opinion. All right, True Seeker, until next time.